Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're going to be breaking down the Combat Patrol Adepta Sororitas. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so we have the Adepta Sororitas Combat Patrol. Today we're going to be breaking it down, taking a look at the overall value in the set, and then also its viability as an army. So right off the bat, it's worth noting that the Combat Patrol prices in the US are $160. It's also worth noting that with the Adepta Sororitas Combat Patrol, all of the models inside are actually the easy to build models. So these models are not going to have weapon and equipment options like you would get from a full kit, with the exception of the Rhino. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, as the set does go together in much less time because there's a lot less to do with the easy to build stuff. And while you do give up a little bit of your options and some of the diversity of some of the kits in the Sororitas range, the models still go together really nicely. And I personally have built quite a few of these and painted them as well. And it is a really, really nice set and a great starting army. So as far as composition, we start down here with a single Canoness. And then we also have one more character, the Repentia Superior. And then we have 4 Sisters Repentia. And then we also have 3 Arco Flagellants. We have 1 Penitent Eng, 5 Seraphim with Superior, 10 Battle Sisters with a bunch of cool little options as well. And then we also have a Rhino kit. And then it does include the Sisters of Battle upgrade frame, which has a bunch of Sisters theme pieces, including doors and all kinds of cool stuff. So actual composition wise, this is a really nice set. There are no other combat patrols that have this many individual units in them. So the Sisters Combat Patrol actually has 8 individual units, which is awesome because some of the other combat patrols have closer to like 3 or 4. So not only do you get a nice amount of models with this set, but you also get a nice amount of units as well. So when you're pushing your pieces around the table, you have a lot more diversity and you can split things up and take them different ways. So overall composition wise, I would give this a 10 out of 10 as far as the combat patrols are concerned. This is definitely one of the better ones. It has a little bit of everything in it, includes vehicles and infantry, and it's a really nice value. So speaking of value, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. Alright, so here we have all of the units from the set. So first we have the Canoness. A normal Canoness is going to be $40. It is going to have some more options than this, so you don't quite get everything on that price tag. Then we have the Rhino. The Rhino is the regular Rhino kit with the Sisters upgrade frame, and that is the full set. That is normally $55. And then for the Repentia, we actually have 4 Sisters Repentia, and then also the Repentia Superior, which is basically half of a box of Repentia. So a normal box of Repentia is going to be 9 Sisters and 1 Superior, and it's going to cost $60. So in this case, we just halved it and made it $30. And then for the Arco Flagellants, normally a box is going to be 10 Arco Flagellants for $60. So you're only going to get 3 in this set. So we went ahead and just put that at $20. And then we also have the Penitent Eng. Normally you'll get 2 of those in a set, so we just have that for $30. It is worth noting that normally the set's going to have a couple more weapon and equipment options as well, as where the easy to build one in this set is still really cool, but does not include those additional options. And then for the Seraphim, normally the Seraphim box is going to be either 5 Seraphim or 5 Zephyrim, and it does come with like different backpacks and some other options as well. This set, again, is the easy to build set, so it's going to have a Superior with plasma pistol and power sword, but none of the other pistol weapons like special options or anything like that. And of course, you can't build it as the Zephyrim. I still did put it at the $60 price point, even though it doesn't have all the options of the full kit. And then finally, we have 10 Sisters in a squad. The Sisters in this squad are all unique from the other Sisters available. They are easy to build, but you do get a Sergeant with chainsword and bolt gun. You get a standard bearer. You get 1 flamer and 1 stormbolter, and then the rest are just regular Sisters. So again, quite limited on what you can put in the squad, but $60 for that is the normal MSRP. So if we total that all up, it comes out to $295 total, which is 46% savings over the $160 price tag versus that $295. So this is almost 50% off of MSRP if you buy this box set. So it really is a great deal. Now, again, it's hard to kind of price out exactly what the value of the models are because you do give up some of your options going with the easy to build set, but also the actual building and painting goes quicker because it takes less time to get everything assembled. So there are some pluses and minuses with this set. There's definitely some awesome things like having 8 individual units. There's also some drawbacks like some of the stuff is easy to build and doesn't have the options that a full set normally would. So now that we looked at the actual breakdown, we see how many units it is, we see the price, we see the savings. What do I actually think of the set? Well, I think it's probably one of, if not the best combat patrol. If you took all the combat patrols and put them up against each other head to head, maybe this one wouldn't be the most killy and it's definitely not the most durable, but I think it has the most flexibility and would be able to play the game on a different level that most other armies couldn't. The fact that you have like 4 separate units and included in this is a Rhino really gives you a lot of options. You could put your 10 sisters in the Rhino. You could put the Repentia in the Rhino. There's all kinds of different ways that you can play this. You have fast stuff in the 2 vehicles and the Seraphim. You have hard hitters in the Repentia and the Penitent Eng. You have some decent shooting. You have some cool stuff like the Rhino's Hunter Killer Missile and Stormbolter. You really do have a lot at your disposal here. And with a couple of plasma pistols on the Canoness and the Seraphim Superior, you're going to be able to dish out a little bit of extra damage if you need to. I think the main limitations for this army right here is that it doesn't have a ton of dedicated units. So you don't have like real strong long range shooting. And you also don't have real strong or durable close combat potential. Now you can dish out a lot of damage in combat, but you're not going to be able to survive a swing back in many cases. So you really are more of a glass cannon with sisters. And if you're not familiar with sisters, they have a lot of really cool rules like miracle dice and some special like faction abilities that play really nicely and allow you to sort of bend the rules in some ways. They have pretty good secondary objectives. And overall, I think this is a really nice force and it's going to be very competitive if you're just going up against other people's combat patrols. If I was going to pick something to go along with this set, the first thing I would probably add in would be one of the special characters. Morvenn Vahl is really, really good. Saint Celestine and her 2 Gemini are really strong as well. Morvenn Vahl is going to give you a lot of extra punch and also some good synergy with the army. She's very, very good in combat and then also in shooting as well. As where Celestine doesn't really have the shooting power with her Gemini, but she has the ability to stand back up if she's slain. She has some really cool abilities with her miracle dice, and she also improves the invulnerable saves of all your sisters around her. And one really cool thing about the sisters is they all have a 6-up invulnerable save. So the regular sisters start off with a 3-up armor save and then have a 6-up invulnerable save as well. And there's a lot of things inside the army that can give +1 or even stack for +2 to that invulnerable save. So there's a viability that you could have a large portion of your army with a 3-up regular save and then a 5-up or even potentially 4-up invulnerable save. So even though they're only toughness 3 and they don't stand up to the punishment like a Space Marine would with multiple wounds and toughness 4, they're still able to take quite a bit of punch, and the invulnerable save can save them from a lot of things that would otherwise turn them into a smoking pile of ruin. And if I was going to add something other than a character into the set, I would probably either go with some multi-meltas from Retributors or some Paragon warsuits. You're going to want something with a little extra punch. Sisters have some long-range things, like some of their tanks, like the Castigator or the Exorcist, that can hit stuff from far away, and it's not bad. But in general, sisters tend to operate more in like that kind of short to medium range. So having a few multi-meltas on a Retributor squad, or taking a unit of Paragons, especially if you're going with Morvenn Vahl, is going to give you a nice little bit of punch as well. I would put 3 multi-meltas on the Paragon warsuits, and then you have formidable shooting at like short to mid range, and then you also have a formidable combat threat. Morvenn Vahl could give them rerolls, and honestly, I think that's a pretty nice basis for any Sisters of Battle army. So I have to say, as far as combat patrols are concerned, the value in this one is 5 stars. There's very, very few out there that have more savings than this set. Also, composition, the fact that you have 8 different units in this set is really, really nice as well, and a complete outlier from the other sets. So I got to give it 5 stars on that also. And overall, if you were looking to get into Warhammer 40,000 or you're interested in Adepta Sororitas, I 100% would recommend this for new players or people starting Sisters of Battle. So that is our breakdown for today. The Combat Patrol Adepta Sororitas, just taking a look at the actual composition of the set, the viability of the force, and then also the savings. So this one scores very high on the list, and it's going to be tough for any of the other Combat Patrols to beat this one. And I definitely would recommend this if you're thinking about it or you're on the edge of purchasing. So that's it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe and keep your eyes out for other breakdowns for the Combat Patrols. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check them out to save 15%. Link in the description. And let me know what you think of the Adepta Sororitas Combat Patrol. Is it a turnoff for you that it's easy to build? Is that just something that allows you to get your pieces on the table quickly? Do you like that it has so much diversity and so many units, and then also has so much savings as well? Always like to hear your guys' opinion. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video.